Hey, what's up, horror fans, couch potatoes, whatever you might call yourselves? We're back again today to talk about some spooky season in a movie that I don't really feel was kind of spooky.
Yeah, I do feel like
But,
false bill of goods.
You know, it was the way the trailer said it looked like it was a spooky movie. But this is Caddo Lake 2024. This is directed by 𝕤𝕚𝕚𝕚 and Logan George. I'm not really familiar with this tandem here. This was a movie that I think we got kind of targeted on HBO. We'd watched something last year and it said, other people like this. And it starts auto-playing the trailers. That's when we first saw it. And yeah, it looked cool. But I agree. In the trailer, it did look a little bit more horror. It's very much a thriller, very much a kind of a mind bender kind of thing.
Mystery more than even a thriller, I think.
It very much is like if you like Dark, the TV show Dark, I think that you would probably like this a lot, where I say, okay, that maybe even had a little bit more horrific elements than this, but I think more things of, it's just, for lack of a better word, guys, it's kind of a mindfuck of a movie. That's kind of what it was. You know, the revelations are really good.
Yeah, so enjoyable.
But it definitely wasn't a horror film. But since it was on our spooky season list, we're going to go ahead and talk about it today. So first, general impressions. What'd you think about the movie?
I loved it.
You loved it.
I really did. I was thinking about maybe I needed to hold myself back, but now that I'm like, from what? No, I loved it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. Anything you start messing around with time travel a little bit, it's going to be interesting to me. To me, it's always, what rules you're following. I talk all the time, like the Michael Crichton rules, like the time travel always happened this way, and we're a slave to it. There's nothing we can really do about it. It's predestined. Yeah, or, is it like Back to the Future rules? You can go through and you can run into yourself and things like that. So you get into time travel. And there's obviously real technical terms for these. So that's what I call them. The Michael Crichton rules, the Back to the Future rules. But with this, it does kind of its own thing. And I was quite happy with it. I never felt it got to the point where it was getting paradoxy or it was just kind of being inconsistent.
And that's where I was kind of holding myself back. But I'm like, I love time travel. I love things in Texas. I love family stories. Okay, it's got the trifecta for me.
And now I will never go to Caddo Lake in real life.
I will. No. I definitely will. It's the only natural lake in Texas.
Not interested. All right, so first off, what did you like about the movie? What made you love this movie? Let's talk about that first.
Yes, those are three things that I love so much. I love time manipulation, or if that was my superpower, that's what I'd want. Or if I could have a superpower, that's what I'd want, time manipulation.
But this doesn't show you that maybe that's a little dangerous to play with?
Well, yes, that's why it's a superpower.
That's when you find out that,
I didn't say I'd be a hero, maybe I'd be a villain.
Your brother's cousin's nephew is actually your dad or something,
And then I love my home state things. Sure. And I thought they did a really fair job, where a lot of times Texas gets stereotyped with a lot of horses.
There was some goofy accents, but
Well, you were in East Texas, so they were quite charitable. And then also they do a lot of the family stuff. And I thought for the premise of the movie, I couldn't find a hole where I was really. There are one or two things that nagged me, but they were minor things. It wasn't like it disrupted the story for me.
Yeah, I think overall the casting is really good, because you're dealing with different year versions of these characters, and I thought that's key. What I always thought that Dark really nailed was that they would cast by the eyes.
And it was so smart.
And it was so easy to believe, oh yeah, that's this person, 30 years before, 30 years later. And I thought they did a good job of that. The casting of the younger version and the older version of the characters was actually quite good.
Yeah.
I was actually liked that a lot. I liked that it played into my propaganda that redheads are kind of crazy, but we love them anyway, and we'll deal with that as it comes along. As long as we aren't worried about getting stabbed in the ear with a screwdriver while we sleep, we'll make do with it. But yeah, of course, themes of family being really, really big in this is something is great, because it kind of plays with the first I'm not part of this family or whatever because reasons, and you see later on, I don't want to ruin the whole movie for you guys who haven't watched it, but it gets to the point where it's like, oh well, actually you are, more so than you actually think. And I think that's a really good message. It's very, very heartwarming and a very disturbing movie.
Well, I caught the mom thing, and you caught the grandma thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there were some things where, if you're really paying attention, you can be like, well, you can start to suspect, and you can start to catch things.
Yeah, the thing where he finds the girl in the forest, I guessed that right away. Yeah. I was like, okay, I feel like I read enough time travel books at this point to, I think I know what's going on, but it didn't ruin anything, because there were still several twists that I didn't see coming.
Right.
And honestly, a lot of them, as they were happening, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about now. And that was where I go to kind of transition to what did you not like. But I actually ended up liking it in the end. It's the first 45, 50 minutes, I don't know who these people are. I don't
Right,
know how they're related.
connected.
How is this? How is this the
Yes.
same story? Because I felt like I was
Yes.
watching two different movies been sandwiched together. Now, the Convergence was really good, but I
Yeah.
think maybe that could have been done better. Kind of, but I mean, in the end, it worked. So I can't really say I think you should. There's a way you could have done it better, really, because it's just one of those you got to trust the process. I know that's hard for some people to go into a movie and be like, okay, I don't know what's going on for the first almost hour of this movie. But that's one of those things. If this was like a TV show, I think they would have found a better way to kind of slow roll it and do it better.
They could have done that so well.
But doing this in a 2-hour
with
movie.
the wolves and the moths. Oh, there's
Yeah.
so much good stuff.
Yeah, so I think it might have kind of been a little convoluted at first, but in the end, it didn't end up being a super negative for me. Would you not like?
What we kind of said in the beginning, where somebody kind of falsely sold this as horror.
Yeah.
And it really, there were, especially early on when you're not really clear on where this is all going to go or tie together, there were some elements where I was like, okay, no, not. Okay. Oh, no, not going to
I
be
think
here
the
either.
scariest thing was the wolves, right?
Yeah, and even then it wasn't that scary, just unexpected.
Or the idea of, hey, you're in a time that's not your own and people aren't going to believe anything you say.
Well,
Because
true.
obviously if you say you're a time traveler, they're going to think you're...
That's not going to work, yeah.
So, but I think that maybe being separated from loved ones, that can be kind of like scary, obviously. But as far as like, oh my God, this is kind of a freaky one, no, I don't think so.
Spooky, was I too scared to go in the bedroom with the lights out?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing like that.
That kind of bothered me. There were, so it is time travel, and there's one character who goes back quite far. I do have reason to believe that maybe I don't think she understood how she traveled time, because of how she traveled time. I don't think she has any recollection of what happened. I also think because of the time period she traveled back to, she might have been, I don't know, brainwashed or coached to believe that was false.
Yeah, that her original life was just like a...
They were like, oh, you were too traumatized by being found. And
yeah.
And so, because I'm like, girl, you knew Google was coming. You didn't
Right.
say, hey,
How would you not make your family
let's invest in Google.
bazillionaires?
Yeah, like you knew, you at some point you have to be like, oh, I kind of remember this. I kind of know your face. I kind of know. And then also there was one thing where the dad, Paris's dad, was telling him like, I don't want you looking into this. I don't want you to talk about this. And I kind of wonder
if he knows, if
he knew or suspected, if he knew. And he was like, I don't want you going out into that lake. I don't want you asking these questions.
I thought it was just, hey, I'm trying to get over your
move
mom.
on.
And every time you bring her up, it reopens those wounds. But you can be right.
It kind of could have gone either way. I don't know. And I still don't think the second husband, I don't think he was Anna's dad. I think he was an adopted dad. I don't know. There was something about that made me think adopted.
I've already forgot some of the characters' names, so I don't know who's who. But yeah, I was having a hard time with the family tree, and we watched one of those explained videos.
It did a really good job of making it,
and it drew the family tree really, really well. And then you see how it loops around.
Right.
Wow.
The family wreath.
I will say I was really happy to see Thomas from Maze Runner again, because I feel like he was a very, very good actor in those movies. People kind of frown upon dystopian now. It's like it's weird how it made all the money for decades. Yeah. But with that, I really enjoyed him in those movies, and it was good to see him. I thought he was good in this.
I thought he played the role well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good at what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of being dismissive when someone's talking. So, yeah. He does that really good. I'm like, wow, I gotta kind of adopt some of this when someone's yelling at you. Just be like, yeah. Okay.
No, because he's already planning his next 3 steps, and all
so.
This conversation is doing is stopping him. It's not dismissive as much as it's...
All right, well, but despite the fact that it wasn't a horror movie, do you have any pumpkins on this?
I gave it 0 pumpkins.
0 pumpkins? Yeah,
Zero
there's
pumpkins.
Nothing scary about this, like I said, outside of being separated from family. I don't think that's anything that's going to be scary to watch.
I did go ahead and give it 5 stars, though.
5 stars. Wow. So this is your favorite movie so far?
Yeah. I just liked it so much. It was so well done. I was kind of holding myself back, and I was like, maybe 4.5. And I was like, 4.5 is just a poor man's 5.
Nothing wrong with being a 5-star strumpet. Just throw those out. For me, it's like 5 stars means this is a movie I'm going to be watching for the rest of my life and pass on to my kids. So I rarely ever hand out a 5. I'll go a solid 4. I enjoyed it. I think I would watch it again. I think you could watch it a second time, knowing what you know and seeing things that you didn't see the first time. So I think that to me, that's what makes a time travel movie good. Is if you feel like I can go back and watch it and see things I didn't see the first time, and I'm like, oh, it was right there, and I didn't notice, So I dig
And
that.
even though you don't get to experience the jump with her, you do understand the jump, and the way the movie did that, I thought was really well. Yeah.
Very good. All right, so again, sorry it's not really a spooky movie, but
It's not.
I definitely recommend it. I think it was a really entertaining watch. And again, if you are a fan of the TV show Dark, and
Yeah.
if you aren't, you should be. If you haven't watched Dark,
Yeah.
you absolutely should.
Highly recommend that.
It's kind of like Lost, except it sticks the landing. I think that you would probably like this quite a bit. Very, very good movie. But
So
again,
well done.
be patient with it. I gotta say, be patient with it because it is a slow burn at first, but you have to pay attention. This isn't a scroll your phone movie. This is a pay attention, because those first 45 minutes you might be like, you're going to have to pay attention or you're going to be lost, I think. So there we go. All right, guys, Caddo Lake. It's on streaming on HBO here in the States. If you haven't checked it out, do so. And if you have watched it, drop in the comments. Let us know what you thought.